Hello there. As you know, our news is perfectly legal. What's going on, everybody? We have got a brand new Star Wars Legion product announcement. I know as of yesterday, some people were a little disappointed since we had paints. However, this one is huge. This may be the biggest thing to hit Legion in a very long, since maybe the Clone Wars at introducing new factions. Vital assets, battlefield expansion. This one's a game changer. Literally, it's adding 9 new cards for condition, deployment, and objective cards, as well as new terrain pieces, new minis, a whole new deck of cards that you can use in your games. It's just completely turned the game on its head. Well, maybe that's a little exaggeration. It's just adding so much new content in one Battlefield expansion pack. It's absolutely incredible. And we're going to talk all about it. So very, very cool stuff here. Also, there is still plenty of time left to enter to win. If you're interested in the 12 Days of Life Day giveaway, that is still going on throughout this whole month of December. I am giving away mystery gifts to anybody who is a subscriber and has left a comment on one of my videos. It's as simple as that. All you have to do is click that subscribe button and leave a comment letting me know maybe what you think about this expansion, or what maybe you're underwhelmed about something, or maybe you're really hyped about something. I think there's a lot here to get really, really hyped about. So what's inside this box, right? We've got all these different terrain. We've got like these mine things. We've got more crates for supplies. Just some cool little terrain pieces, some scatter terrain. Okay, that's great. Kind of like the last Battlefield expansion, that you had like those little consoles and the moisture evaporators. Well, kind of like that one, this one's giving you new condition, deployment, and objective cards, and that's so huge because, again, you only bring 4 when you're coming into a game, and since we've had so few, there wasn't a whole lot of choice there. We've also been asking them for a long time to come up with some different, deployment condition objectives that are maybe going to favor vehicles, because vehicles haven't really felt like, especially the heavy vehicles, haven't felt like they're that important. And I feel like that's kind of one of the things that we're getting here. We're also, you're going to see 2 minis there. You don't have units for those, or at least it doesn't look like we have units for those. They didn't say that they have units for those, but they are basically hostages, which is kind of cool. So we're going to take a look at this. Speaking of hostages, right? We've got this hostage exchange. So they give us a couple of previews of some of these new objective cards, and we've got hostage exchange. So each player chooses one core unit that they control. Then, starting with the blue player, each player places their opponent's chosen unit on or as near as possible to the center of the battlefield and performs a speed 1 move with that unit. Then each player places a claimed objective token in base contact with the unit leader. During the chosen unit, your chosen unit and equips a hostage upgrade to that unit card. So basically, somebody's starting out with a hostage. The weird thing here is, like, they give you a mini, but you're really just using a token. Like, you don't have to use the plastic that comes in this pack. And if it's anything like the last Battlefield expansions, you're really not supposed to use them. That's the weird thing about this, because you can use them for decorative purposes, but they cannot block line of sight because they're supposed to be treated as completely flat. And so if you have this mini, I think you're not really allowed to use it as far as determining, like, hey, I can't see that unit. Oh, but I can see the hostage. Can I shoot that? Counts as, like, obviously, hopefully you don't shoot your own hostage. Anyway, that's just bad practice to begin with. But, so I'm curious, like, if you're really supposed to be using the mini or not. If not, I mean, it's just a cool, opportunity to have, like, a Neimoidian, for example, to act as maybe a unit leader or a generic commander once those things eventually come out. It's kind of cool. Or you have the Pantoran female model, which is also pretty cool, for the Republic. So I'm kind of digging it. I'm digging it. So during round 1, units cannot use the detonate keyword. So that one is also very interesting. It also makes me wonder, why did they go quite that far with detonate? Like, is there more stuff that's going to potentially, drop mines at the beginning? Now, if you have minefield, that's still there because that's not a detonate keyword. But it makes me wonder if we're going to see more detonate stuff that's more likely to be a threat at the beginning of the game. Well, I guess maybe if you had saboteurs on a tank or something like that, maybe you could make that work. I don't know. And all trooper units gain claim. When a unit claims an objective token, it equips a hostage upgrade card. So you can try to go and like steal your, or pick the hostage up. At the end of the game, each player gains a victory token for each objective token that is claimed by a unit they control. Then each player gains a victory token for each objective token within their deployment zone and claimed by a unit you control. So if you have somebody in your deployment zone, you're going to get an extra point for that. So that one's really weird. It's going to take some more time to kind of process that and see, like, so do I just got to like run up to your unit, because more information is gleaned when we look at the hostage card itself. And of course, this is our Pantoran senator from Pantora, I think. Well, if she's Pantoran, I think the planet's Pantora. Anyway, but I should just watch this episode the other day. Increase your courage by 1 and reduce your maximum speed by 1 to a minimum of 1. Funny thing here is if you look at the art, they're showing snow clone troopers, right? How much you want to bet we get those, like, very soon? I would guess that that's probably coming. Usually, a lot of times the art is predictive of things that are coming. However, we'll see. And you cannot start a melee, which is very interesting. During round 1, enemy units cannot start a melee with you or attack you, and you gain immune to enemy effects. Unequip this card if you do not have a claimed objective token. So I guess you can still shoot that unit that has the hostage unit. You can't kill the hostage because, again, it's just a token, not necessarily an extra unit, not part of their hit points. So if you kill the rest of the unit, then you can go up and claim your own hostage and then pull them back to your deployment zone. So that's kind of how that seems like that's going to work. That's actually really cool, because that's what it's all about at this point. This would make bounty hunters way better, wouldn't it? Right? I mean, like the mobility, like a Boba Fett would be great against something like this. Come on in, like take out just one unit, get them and get out of there. Like reduce to a speed of 1, I get, but he can still jetpack away at speed 2. A speed 2 jetpack jump would be still really good with Boba Fett. I'm digging that. That's really cool. Fortified Positions, a new condition we're getting. Starting with the blue player, players alternate placing barricades on the battlefield until 8 have been placed. And when you place it, they must be inside your deployment zone or within range 1 to 2 of their deployment zone, and they must be placed horizontally, so like long ways. You can't have them like this way. You got to have them this way. We saw something actually kind of like this one with the skirmish, the new skirmish cards that came out. This one's interesting, but this one seems like it would be really bad for our vehicle players, right? I mean, I guess it wouldn't be that bad for vehicle players. You wouldn't get as much benefit out of it, I suppose, if you're vehicle players, because there's no distance requirement here, so you can put them on top of each other. I mean, not directly on top, but could you put them on top? Could you stack a barricade tower? There's nothing that says you can't place it on top of another barricade. Actually, it doesn't really say that, does it? Must be placed inside their deployment zone or within range 1 to 2 of their deployment zone. Must be placed horizontally. It would be so weird. I wonder if somebody's going to try to literally stack a barricade and see if they can balance it on top of another barricade. It's absurd, but, absurd things, more absurd people than me have come up with more absurd suggestions and led to FAQs. So that's interesting. I think the whole horizontal thing kind of means that you're not going to be able to balance it on top of another one. Unless, of course, you already had barricades and they were both going vertically, and then you... No, never mind. But I guess it doesn't prohibit you from putting a barricade on top of another piece of terrain already. And that's where, if you did have 2 vertical barricades, I guess you could place this on top of one of those, which is really weird, but that would be kind of cool. I think that could be really cool. All right. I'm thinking, see, I jump straight to the absurd all the time. Supply drop. This one is a big deal. This one's a big deal because it means something else. So prepare the supply deck. You got a supply deck in this. It's a whole new deck of cards, small cards that you're going to use. What do you get, 16 of these cards? It's insane. You're getting a whole new deck of cards, and you're going to be using them. They're like little buffs. It's like almost turning this into an RPG. It's crazy. Absolutely love it. 16 new supply cards from the article that say that you're going to get these supply cards here. And basically, until you're going to place 6 tokens And when you resupply, you're going to flip that token. Otherwise, remove it. So you get like two charges per token, basically. Once you flip it, if able. Otherwise, remove it. And then draw 2 supply cards. Equip one and shuffle it. That's pretty cool. And what's in the supply deck? Well, look at this. Back to Castle. So it's treat 1, capacity 1. That's awesome. You can heal. Well, I love it. Kind of like a medical droid. You get a field scanner. While defending against a ranged attack during the apply, dodge, and cover step, gain a dodge token. That's nice. That's really nice. And the thing is, like, it seems like you get to keep this, right? It's just inexhaustible. There may be special rules to it that, like, they're one-time use and then they go away. But why does this one say free action? I mean, and then this one is exhaust. Like, I'm just curious if it's going to be like, because that background for the exhaust is different than the green we've seen before. It's more of a brown exhaust. So, just curious, like, how they're gonna work that. But be real, like, if you can just continue to use these, it's not like stupid OP. It's like it's a decent item. And if we look from the initial video, you know, from the initial graphic. Here, like I'll show you right here, like we'll blow that up a little bit. We can see that there's some other things too, like there's a targeting rangefinder and then a grapple harpoon. It's going to give you scale, which is very cool. I love loot. And I love that we're seeing another AT-AT in the artwork. Another AT-AT. Come on, AT-ATs. Yes. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. So that's cool. We've seen some of the different, some of the other cards as well. Payload. Looks... That one may be dealing with vehicles, and we've got a new deployment cards too. Danger close. Look at that setup. It's just, you can't see all of it, but that's interesting. It's really interesting, you know. So I can't wait to see more of these. I think this one is going to be. I think the name is apt here. Vital assets. I think this one is going to be vital. I think this is going to be like one of those things you must have. Everybody must have at least one of these. I don't think there's going to be too much reason to have 2 of them. I think this is something that everybody has to get one of. I think it's awesome. So, vital assets coming next year. Super excited. Less excited about the terrain, more excited about the cards. I do think it's a game changer. I think it's going to be doing an awful lot about this game. And also in the thumbnail art, they're also showing an AT-AT walker again. Like, so if you see this article on FFG, you're going to see an AT-AT walker blowing people up in the background. I'm like, come on, guys. You know. All right. Well, that's all I've got for you today. And I guess we're going to say thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to the patrons. By the way, did you know that patrons are going to get special giveaways? Anything that's not claimed from the 12 Days of Life Day rolls over into Patreon giveaways. Conlon, look, my little Lando wants to come say hi. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Say subscribe.
Goodbye.
Subscribe. Say click that bell for alerts. Say thank you, patrons. Say happy Life Day. Say I gotta go poop.
I didn't poop already.
Yeah, I pooped already. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. I want to thank you so much for watching. And as always, have a great day.